cut out a piece of paper that is enough to cut the hip measurements, the bust, and also the length of the dress. So after that, I come here on this line. So this here will be the shoulder line. So I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 15 inches divided by 2. It gives us 7.5. And then on this shoulder line, I'm going to come down from this point by half an inch to create the shoulder slope, because our shoulder is not entirely straight. So after that, I'm going to come down from this point by 7.5 inches, which is from my chest line. So from my shoulder to my chest line is 7.5. So I'm going to mark that down here. So from this new point, I'm going to extend that point towards the end like this. And then I connect this to this point. So from my shoulder to my bust point is 11 inches. So I'm going to mark that down here. So I'm going to extend that line. And then from my shoulder to my waist is 16 inches. So I'm going to connect the point as well. So from my shoulder to my hip line is 25 inches. So I'm going to mark that down as well. Then I connect the points together. So for the length of the dress, it depends on the measurement you are working with. So here, I'm just going to be working with 34 inches length. So here I'm working with 34 inches length. So I went ahead and labeled each line: the chest line, bust line, waist line, hip line, and then the dress length. So after that, I'm going to come to this chest line for my armhole, and then I divide whatever I have from here to this point here for the shoulder slope. So I'm going to divide whatever I have here divided by 2. So I have 7.5 here. I'm going to divide it by 2. And then I will mark whatever I have down here. Then I come in by half an inch. So I'm going to come in here by half an inch. And then I connect this point to this point. And then I use my curve driller to connect this together. So this is for the front armhole. And for the back armhole, I'm just going to connect this to this and to this. So this is for the back and this is for the front. So after that, I'm going to measure my bust circumference. So I will divide my bust circumference divided by 4. So whatever I have, I'm going to mark it down here. So I mark down whatever I have here. I mark it down like this. And also on the waistline, I will divide my waist measurement divided by 4. So I mark down whatever I have here. And also I will repeat same thing on the hip line. Whatever I have, I will divide my hip measurement divided by 4. So whatever measurement I have, I will mark it down here as well. So I have these 3 points here. So to get the dart, I'm going to divide my input and input measurement by 2. So which gives me 4. So I will mark down the 4 inches here like this. And also I will mark it down on the waistline as well. And also I will mark it down on the hip line. So after that, I'm going to come down on my bust line by 1 inch. And then on hip line, I'm going to come up by 3 inches. So I'm going to connect the 3 points together. So after that, on this waistline, I'm going to come out here by half an inch. And also I will come out here by half an inch as well. So I will connect this to this to this. So I'll connect all the points together. So this is the dart. So after that, on this waistline, I'm going to add this my dart measurement 1 inch. I'm going to add it to my waist measurement. So I will add 1 inch to it for the dart allowance. And then I will connect all the points together, the bust line, waist, and the hip line. So I'll connect it together. So for the bottom part of the dress, I'm going to measure whatever I have here. I'm going to measure it and then place it down here. Or I'll measure whatever I have on my hip line and then subtract 1.5 inches from it. So which gives us same thing as the waistline. So I'm going to measure whatever I have and then place it down here. So I'm going to connect it back to the hip line. So this is what we have now. So for the allowance, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches allowance to it. If you're adding lining to the dress, you must add 1.5 inches. But if it's without lining, then you can add 1 inch allowance to it. So for the bottom of the dress, I'll be adding 1 inch sewing allowance to it as well. So for my neckline, I'll be working with 3 inches by 3 inches. So the neckline is optional. You can work with any measurement of your choice. So but for this dress, I'll be working with 3 inches by 3 inches. And then I slant my neckline into the armhole for the shoulder slope. So I'm going to use my curved ruler to create the neckline that I want. So this is for the front, and for the back I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to curve this into the 3 here. So this is for the front neckline and this is for the back neckline. Now I'm going to be cutting it out. I will only be cutting on the back first before cutting the front. So I'll be cutting on the back piece first. And remember, when you are cutting this on your actual fabric, you must cut the front piece on fold and also the back piece on fold. So you're going to cut the fabric on fold. So for the back, I'm going to mark out 1 inch for zip allowance. So after that, I'm going to place the front pattern on top of the back piece like this. And then knot them together with my pin. So after that, I'm going to mark out everything, the bust line that. So I'm going to add 3/4 of an inch on my shoulder line like this. And then slant it like this. So right now I'm going to cut out the back neckline. So I'm going to cut out the back neckline, the shoulder, the armhole, and then I cut out the bust, the waist, and the hip line. And then I will cut the neckline for the front. And also the armhole. So I'm going to connect all the points together for my bust line, the waist line, and also the hip line. And for the back that, I'm also going to repeat same thing as the front, which is my nipple to nipple measurement by 2. I mark same thing on the waistline and also the hip line. Then I come up on hip line by 3 inches. And then come down by 1 inch on the bust line. So I'm going to connect all the points together. and then go out by half an inch on the waistline and come out as well by half an inch on the waistline. So you connect all the points to each other. So this is the back that, and then I'm going to label this the back, and label this the front. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you find this video very helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.